Good morning and welcome to episode 15 of the Blue Fern Yarn podcast. My name's Shannon and I'm coming to you from Norwich in Norfolk on Monday, May the 3rd. It's Bank Holiday Monday, which is probably why I'm not working my day job, but I am here with you guys and I'd like to show you what I've been working on. Today I've got a couple of finished objects, I've got a couple of whips and I've got a couple of acquisitions. A couple of everything really. Yeah, where can you find me? You can find me on Instagram, Ravelry and Facebook as Blue Fern Yarns, and you can also find me on my own website, which is bluefernyarns.co.uk, where you can find my hand-dyed yarn, higher knitting needles and crochet hooks, stitch markers, various other little things that go along with knitting, like project bags, and also my patterns that I design. I'm a little bit out of sorts because this is actually take 2 of recording today. The first one I did, for some reason, just didn't have any sound. So I'm hoping that this time we'll have sound so I don't have to record again. But we'll see how this goes. Yeah, anyway. What's been going on with me? So here in the UK, lockdown restrictions are starting to ease and that is great. Things are starting to go back to normal. Well, I say normal, I don't even think we really know what normal is anymore. But things are starting to sort of, well, basically the world's starting to wake up again. At least it is for us in the UK. You can see I've got my hair done, so I haven't got my really big roots that I had before. What else is going on? I don't really know what else is going on, to be honest. I've met up with a couple of friends. We've gone for some sort of walks around the park and actually went to a friend's on Friday for a couple of drinks in the garden. Yeah, and it's been really nice to actually see other human beings other than just Tom. Don't get me wrong, Tom's not that bad, but I like to see other people than just Tom. Yeah, so I have been promoted at work during my day job. I am now assistant surveyor of a commercial property management company. Don't quite know what the new promotion means. I'm hoping this week that we actually discover what that actually means and what changes will happen within my role. But we'll see. My granddad is still in hospital, which is a little bit difficult. It has meant, and you will see by my well, at least by one of my finished objects, that I haven't been able to think too much, and it's probably why I've been away a little bit. It's been 3 weeks since I last recorded, and yeah, it's just, I found it really difficult to concentrate really hard on any sort of anything really. Yeah, just found it a bit difficult. You know, it is what it is, but hopefully now with sort of lockdown restrictions easing and things hopefully starting to get back to some form of normality, whatever that may be, yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm going to jump straight in. So on to sort of finished objects. So my first finished object is my Knotball Blanket. And I'm going to have to stand up and try and get as much of it in the frame as possible. So this is just sort of a lap gown sort of size. It's not massive, but it is still pretty big. And I think when I last recorded with this, well, last showed you guys this blanket, I think I was on this sort of dark mustardy type colour, and I was just about to start into this lemon colour, and I had no idea where I was going to go with the rest of the colours. But as you can see, it's finished. Woo! Yes, and I absolutely love it. It is a free pattern that I've designed, and it's on both my website and Ravelry. And I'll leave some links below just so you can grab a copy if you would like one. It is called the Knotball Blanket, basically because you use a knot ball, or a magic knot ball as some people call it. And it's great because you have two ends to sew in, which is brilliant. I don't know about you, but I always get a bit bored about sewing in the ends. I love the fact that it finishes up an object really well, but I don't like doing it. And you only have a small amount to cast on, and then back at the other end you only have a very small amount to cast off. So that means no taking forever to cast on, no taking forever to cast off, which I just love about this blanket. So the idea that came about the blanket, or how the blanket came about, I'm pretty sure they're the right words, maybe not the right order. But I'm sure you know what I mean. So the reason I designed this blanket was I always have so many scraps of yarn that are like anywhere between 1 gram and anywhere all the way up to 30 grams sometimes of yarn, which doesn't give you much to play with. It doesn't give you too much to actually do too much with. So yeah, I put them all in a magic knot ball and I started knitting, and this is what I came out with. The pattern is, as I said, available, and is a very simple garter stitch blanket, as you can just about see here. All the yarns that I've used in this blanket are all hand dyed yarns by various people. I'm not going to go through who because I don't even know who all of them are. Yeah, so that's that. The yarn is all superwash, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, from various indie dyers. And also on the pattern you've got sort of, I think it's called selvaged edge. It's just an edge with a really clean finish. But also gives you the option to sort of pick up all the stitches around the edge to create like an I-cord bind off, or an I-cord, it is an I-cord bind off, isn't it? But yeah, it just gives you a really nice finish, I find. And just, oh, look at all that perfection just there. I just unfolded it and you can see how neat it all is. I just absolutely love it. Yeah, or you could even pick up all the stitches with a crochet hook and just crochet around the edge, or something, anything really. It's your choice if you make a blanket. But yeah, the pattern's there, and feel free to go and grab yourself a copy. And yeah, and when I had finished making this, I mentioned to Tom that I really wanted a blanket ladder. And he very, very, very kindly made me one, which is amazing. I'm going to pop a picture in. If I can put it on the side of the screen, I will. If not, I will just pop a picture in now. So yeah, and oh, I absolutely love it. When I was looking online for a blanket ladder, all the ones that I found were like 50, 60 quid. And I obviously didn't have that spare at the time, or I still don't have that spare. I didn't have it spare. And Tom made my one for about 20 quid. It's not varnished, it is sanded and everything, so it is all smooth. It's not varnished or anything because I can't quite decide what colour I want to make it yet, whether I want to paint it, varnish it or what. And also the one that he made me is actually like, it's 2 foot wide, whereas all the other ones that I found were like quite skinny ladders, so you have to really, really fold up your blanket. Whereas this, I can get about 2/3 of this sort of showing on one sort of rung. And I can get like, I've got on the bottom of the picture, you would have seen quite a larger grey, almost quilted blanket, and that is actually single bed size, so it's massive, and it's got loads of space on there, and I just absolutely love it. And I'm trying to rearrange my lounge so I can get Tom to make me another one to go in there, so I can have blanket ladders everywhere. Because don't we all just love a hand knitted blanket? But anyway, definitely recommend that for anyone who's interested. And it's great for like yarn advents and things like that. My mum has sent me a picture of one because I sent her the pattern. A picture of the one that she's doing with her yarn advent from, I think it's from Ellie at Craft House Magic. I'm like 99% sure it is Ellie from Craft House Magic yarn. I'm second guessing myself. I'm pretty sure it's Ellie's. But yeah, she's doing one, and I think it's like a 20-gram set that she's doing. So she's going to be making a really big blanket, and it looks amazing. Yeah, so the pattern gives you the option to make it into either a square or a rectangle. And also I've done a bit of research with reference to blanket sizes and like the different sizes that you can get. So for example, like baby blankets, single bed blankets, double bed blankets, king, it goes all the way up to king size. Yeah, and these are just sort of my findings. I've done a bit of research online about different sizes, and I've kind of taken the average of all of them and kind of put them into both sort of inches and centimetres, just in case you prefer one or the other. But yeah, it's not law that you have to stick to those sizes. You can make a blanket whatever size you want. It's just there to give you a sort of an idea of the sizes that you can sort of make, really. The pattern's written for 4-ply yarn, but you can obviously alter that to use DK yarn or Aran or any other weight yarn if you want. Yeah, you'll just have to make sure that you go up a needle size or two just to make sure you get the sort of rough gauge that you want. There is gauge noted, but obviously that is for 4-ply. But yes, anyway, on to another one, which is my pattern. This isn't a finished object from the last couple of weeks. I finished these a little while ago, but I wanted to bring these up because it's another pattern that I've designed, but they are now available for purchase, and it's called the Walk the Track socks. And you've got this gorgeous detail, and this detail, so the left and right leg is worked slightly different, because if you turn it around this way, you've got no pattern on this side. So this is the right foot, this is the left foot. And like, you can turn it around there. So the yarn I used is my own hand-dyed yarn in colourway Magnolia, which will hopefully be restocked very soon. I can't even speak. Very soon. And it's kind of, there we go, I think we've got about the right colour there. But yeah, so you've just got this gorgeous detail. It's only a 4-row repeat, so it is quite an easy sort of sock pattern to do. And I love the detail of this. I just think it's so pretty. I might be biased because it's my own pattern. I just think it is so pretty. But yeah, so the pattern went live on the 30th of April. And there is currently 50% off. If you either head on over to my Instagram or Ravelry, you'll see that there is a little bit of a discount code in there that will give you 50% off up until the end of Tuesday. So yeah, feel free to go and grab yourself a copy. A finished object, again, is another pattern that I've designed. Don't worry, I will not be designing that many patterns, hopefully, because there is a lot of work that goes into them. It's currently out with testers, and again, this is my own hand-dyed yarn, and I created this colourway just to create the socks. So it's called the Sandy Ripple Sock. I love how hand-dyed yarn just knits up. Oh, anyway, it's called the Sandy Ripple Sock, and obviously the pattern is the same for both socks. So you have like just the patterns work down the front of the sock, and it's an 8-row repeat. I'm just going to sort of turn the sock a little bit so you can see the pattern in detail. There we go. So there we go. It's just, oh, I love it. It just makes me think of, you know, when you're walking along the beach and you've got your feet in the sea and the waves pull back and you just get the ripples in the sand. It is literally, it's just that. That is literally why it's called the sandy ripple sock. But yeah, you've just got all these like little ridges and you've got little sort of pools as such. And yeah, just absolutely love it. It's currently out with my testers, I think I mentioned, but the pattern will be going live on the 21st of May. Yeah, I just absolutely love it. And there are 4 different sizes with this one. So you've got a 56, a 60, 64 and a 72 stitch sock. Oh, and also within the pattern you can make either a shorty, so like just a little ankle one, or you can make the full version, which is just like this. But yeah, it's dealer's choice. What's the term? I think it's dealer's choice. If you want to make a shorty, you can make a shorty. And if you do follow me on Instagram or Ravelry, there will be a discount code for when it goes live for a little while, to give you a bit of a discount. But there, yeah, I'm starting to get some of my testers come back with some of the pattern, and oh my god, it looks lovely. I really enjoy seeing all of my testers work. It's just, oh, it's so nice. It's so lovely to see somebody making something that I designed, and they tell me that they're enjoying the pattern, which is also very, very lovely to hear. And on to my last and final finished object. I'm going to do a sock. Another pair of socks. So I think it was on my last episode that I mentioned that I've decided to join a year-long sort of sock club as such. And this is from the Dotty wool company. And she does self-striping yarn, and just how gorgeous is that? I just absolutely love it. So this is season 1, and it is called New York Has No Power. And when you go to the Friends episodes, which I'm currently doing, as well as sort of knitting these socks, you can see the colours that she uses actually in the episodes, and you're like, wow, that is amazing. So you've got so you'll have season 1 through 10 all the way up until October. November she's doing like a, what do you call it, Thanksgiving themed one, and then December will be obviously a Christmas themed one, which will be really, really exciting. So the yarn is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and it's the first time I've ever actually used it, that sort of split of yarn, or base of yarn, or whatever you want to call it. And oh, it's so soft, and I'm so proud. And it's also the first time I've ever used self-striping, so these flew off the needles. I think I did those in like 3 days of work. So I think one of them was a day, and then it was 2 evenings. Literally, my hands hurt afterwards. I couldn't knit the next day, but oh my god, I absolutely love them. And I can't wait to have a whole series of Friends socks. It's gonna be lovely. I feel like I should have knitted them a little bit longer because I had quite a bit of yarn left over. But actually I'm still very, very pleased with what I've got here. Oh, I just absolutely love it. Oh, so exciting. So I've got season 2 and 3 as well, just in my yarn stash up there. I think season 2 is called You're My Lobster, and season 3 is Put the Book Back in the Freezer, or Don't Put the Book in the Freezer, which if you are Friends fans you will totally get. Yes, I absolutely love them. I'm totally addicted to Friends. I think I always have been, but yeah, just, oh, it's so lovely. And now that I've shown you, I'm really excited. I get to wear them. I'm not sure if anyone else is the same, but I am not allowed to wear my own handmade socks until they've been blocked and I've shown you. And then photos, obviously blocked, photos, shown you, and then I can wear them. Which will make quite an interesting sort of discussion point actually. So put your comments below. Do you block your socks? And if so, why do you block them? And if not, why not? Yeah, I know a few people keep telling me, oh yeah, I don't bother blocking my socks, I just wear feet and natural blockers, which I totally agree. But I don't know about you, but I just really love the finished photo of a block sock. And also it sits very nicely, so I've got a stack of 3 pairs of socks just here. And look how neat it sits there. Just, yeah, I don't know. I don't block them every time I wash them, so I may just like sort of lay them flat. So I've got obviously some blocking mats, and I lay them flat on there. I just shove them outside in the garden when it's sunny, and they just dry, and then I can obviously fold them up and put them away, which means they don't quite sit as neat as this little stack here, but I've only got 1 pair of blockers. I feel like if I had to block all of my hand knit socks, it means I get to wear like 1 pair a week. Whereas I want to wear a pair every day. I don't know. What do you do? Do you block them every time or just wash them? Or what do you do? I'd really like to hear. Maybe it'll give me some ideas for my hand knit socks going forwards. Who knows? So I'm going to jump onto whips. So this one I've shown before, and it's a whip that I've got going on at the moment. Surprisingly, it's another pair of socks. So I have done this much. This is actually the second sock, so I've only done that much of the second sock. So Tom wants me to make a sock with an afterthought heel. So this is why I've only got sort of a tubey bit here at the moment. So it's got the cuff and the toe, and obviously I need to do the heel. When I do afterthought heels, I have both tubes ready, and then I mark them both before I do any sort of cutting or anything like that, because then I can make sure they're as even as possible. As you can see sort of on here, it was really easy on self-striping because you could literally just count the stripes to make sure they worked. And they did, so you know, that's great. But yeah, so it's got the cuff and the toe and 1 tube. This yarn here is my own hand-dyed yarn in colourway Peacock, and I love the little micro striping that it brings up. It's just so pretty. This pink yarn here, I don't know if you can just about see that, but it's got some stellina in it, and obviously it's neon, so Tom likes it, whereas I'm not really a big fan of neon. And that comes from, where do you come from? I can't remember where. It comes from Pixie Yarn, and I am totally blanking on her name now. Nope, can't remember. So yeah, I think that this is going to be a really short sock on him, because he's got quite long feet. But say like you put the heel in there, I still think it's going to be quite a short leg for him. But he told me he was happy with that, so I've done that. It should also actually give me loads of yarn left over, so I can make a pair of shorties of this for myself. We'll see. So that is one of my whips. Oh yes, and in here I have got, so it's another Knotball Blanket. So as soon as I finished that one, I basically raided all of my scraps, basically all of them. And I put them all, I used my ball sorry, my needles are clanking. I used the ball winder and got this cake, and I think I wound it until it was about 140 something grams. I did weigh it, I think it was 141 or 142 grams, I'm not sure. But you can see there are so many. It's mainly pinks, because apparently I use a lot more pinks than I ever thought I would. Not that that's a problem, but you've got some greys, some blue, slight blues in there. You've got a little bit of green, a little bit of yellow, purples, and like so many different kind of pinks in there. I don't know if you can see all of those. But yeah, I figured I would make a Knotball blanket. So I've only just started. I haven't done too much, and here it is. So yeah, you can see that I've really not done much at all. It'll be another lap gown sort of size, just because I want loads of them around the house. So when anyone's saying, oh, I'm cold, I can just pull one off the ladder, which is why we need another ladder in the blanket ladder in the lounge. So I'm going to move my lounge around. Tom doesn't know this yet, so I'm really hoping he doesn't actually watch this episode. If he does, I'm sure I'll hear about it. Anyway, so yeah, I haven't done much. And yeah, I just absolutely love this. It's such a lovely, mindless pattern. Yeah, and you have like just a really neat edge. Look how neat that is. And you've got like the bumps where you can just sort of pick up stitches and do like an I-cord bind off if you wanted. Yeah, some of these are just like a gram, some of them are like 2 grams of yarn. I think this one was just over, I think it's like, yeah, not much at all, but it just kept going, and they're all in there. Eventually they will all make a blanket, which will be really exciting. I love seeing these Knotball blankets actually progress, and I'm aware that I'm saying a lot. I don't know why. I think it's just because I keep losing my train of thought. I've got so many things going on in my mind. But yes, definitely recommend that. Again, it is a free pattern. I will link it all below. I just did it again. I will try not to do it so much, but yeah, so that is great. I also have like, I found another one. I think this one has like, I think that's a 20 gram, but I think there's something inside there. I can't remember. I wound it up a while ago. So any sort of pink scraps will just go in there, and ready to go. So I'm using a very small bag, which I'm pretty sure I used the same bag when I was doing this one here. So you can, because it's 4-ply, you can fold it up quite small, and it does fit into like a smaller project bag. Especially with a scrappy blanket, you don't know how big you're gonna go. You start off quite small and you just sometimes go bigger. If it goes a lot bigger, I will find a bigger project bag, but at the moment it just sits in there, so that's absolutely fine. And this one is sort of a whip / acquisition. So I can't show you because I used it this morning. I decided that I wanted some more face cloths because that's what I use. And I remembered that I had loads of like leftover cotton from various projects when I was doing a lot of crochet, like little animals and things like that. And yeah, so I've got various DK cottons. These are all DK. So this one is Cotton DK Classic Stylecraft in colourway grey blue. That's just one of the Rika Rumi ones. You can't really see that because it's a bit white. Anyway, I've got some grey of that Rika Rumi. I think that's what it's called. I've got this one that I know is cotton, but I don't know sort of the brand or anything. It's probably another sort of Stylecraft type one. And so the whip, I'm using my Knotball blanket pattern just to make the face cloth, so it is very simple. But this goes into the acquisition. Look at that colour, I love this colour. And the sheen, I don't know if it will show up the sheen so much. Not really. There isn't too much in that one, but there is more in the silvery type one. So these two that I've just shown you, these two are acquisitions, and they're both DK and they're cotton. So it is the Coboo Lion brand yarn. And this one is 51% cotton and 49% bamboo, and it's 100 grams and you get 212 meters. And oh my gosh, it is so soft. So I think I got this from Hobbycraft. I was in there looking for things, just wondering because the world's opening up. I just wanted to get out of the house. But anyway, so I found it. It's quite expensive, so it's £6 per ball. It's not drastically expensive, but if you bought a lot of it, it could very easily increase in price very drastically. And yeah, this colour is called Silver Argent, and this one is Blue Steel. And oh my god, they're just so soft. They're so soft, and that's why I bought them. They're soft, they're lovely, it's really nice to knit with. It just glides on the needles. And yeah, I'm just using like 4mm needles because that's what the yarn says is 4mm, or the label on the back of the yarn. So that's what I'm using. And yeah, I plan to have a whole stack of handmade washcloths, which will be great. So yeah, definitely, I would definitely recommend this yarn to anyone who is after a cotton that's a bit softer, because it's got the bamboo in it, which I think is what gives it the softness. But oh, I sat there, I think it was last night until I came home from work, I was just stroking the yarn. It's such a weird thing to do. Oops. But yes, I did that anyway. And then on to my last thing, which is just a final acquisition that I've got. So I ordered this a while ago, and it is to do with the Friends collection of yarn. So it comes in this gorgeous little box, and it's from the Dotty Wool company, and it is season 4. So although I said I had season 1, 2, 3, I do have season 4. And if you haven't got yours yet, look away, but if not, feel free to look. So here is the yarn, and oh my god, how gorgeous is that? I just absolutely love it. And this is the Dotty Wool company logo or label. Her name's Ruth, and she just makes the most gorgeous self-striping yarn. Like, look at that one. And this one is called How You Doin. Obviously Friends, Joey, and again, like I said before, it's 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and you get 365 meters per 100 grams. I love it. Now I've ordered season 5, but that doesn't come until, I think the listing said about the 25th of the month, which is when she lists the next one as well. So yeah, hopefully I will get that one as well. I think they're getting quite popular, so I think they go quite quickly, and they're all pre-order. But oh, I just absolutely love it. It's so pretty. And like I said, this was my first ever self-striping yarn that I've ever used, and I cannot wait to get more and use more, and really want to start another pair of socks. Self-striping socks. Again, obviously my Friends Club stuff, because that's the only self-striping yarn that I actually own. I have thought about having a go myself, and I do plan to, but I just haven't quite got there yet. It's been quite busy, so we'll see how that goes. And yeah, I can't wait to just knit more self-striping socks. They fly off the needles just because I think it's the changing colour without actually having to sort of change the yarn, and it's so exciting just to go, oh, I'm on the next colour, oh, I'm on the next colour. And this is just like a 4-row self-striping, so it does change really quickly, and it's just, oh, I'm going to stop going on about it because I am totally a sock knitter now. I love them, I absolutely love them. Yeah, and my little sock drawer is starting to build up, which is lovely. I have even got a couple of pairs of socks in my gift box, which is really nice, and hopefully I will get to gift them to someone. I don't know who yet. I can't quite decide that far ahead, but yeah, we'll see. But yeah. Anyway, that's all I've really got to say. This one is going to be a little bit shorter than the first one that I recorded this morning. I did ramble a little bit. But now I can't remember what I said, so we're just going to leave it. If you have watched all the way to the end, thank you very much. Don't forget to like and subscribe, so you can see any future videos or anything like that I do post up here. If you've got any comments, please feel free to add them below. I do love reading and replying to all your comments, and just having a general catch up, which is really nice. And yeah, I think that's it. Have a good crafty day and enjoy the rest of your bank holiday weekend. Bye!